Hi guys, welcome back to another video tutorial with me, Isabel. So if you are new here, I'm just going to briefly introduce myself. I'm currently in an Airbnb in Cusco and I've been full-time traveling as a digital nomad for the past it's coming to 4 years now, since 2018. I took a break sometime in the pandemic. I went home for a little bit, but as of October 2020, I have just been on the road until now, and I've been traveling southwards and traveling around South America. It's been really nice, and I am able to create even more content than ever while being on the road than if I were to be back home in Singapore. So today's video is all about repurposing your content. I know a lot of bloggers, myself included, we struggle with consistent content creation, and as a full-time travel blogger, I really rely on my travel blog for income. So while that's not my sole income, I have multiple streams of income. It is one of my income drivers, and so I always want to write posts that are optimized for Google traffic. I want to write post topics that people are actually searching for, which is why I'm all about SEO. By the way, if you stick throughout this video, I will be sharing little freebies here and there, so be sure to watch till the end so that you get all of these freebies. Oh, and also don't forget to subscribe to this video. So anyway, as I was saying, we struggle with consistent content creation, and Google really prioritizes consistent content these days, and not just on the blog but also throughout your social media platforms, which is why there is this term that has become really hot lately, and that is called repurposing. So what that is having one piece of content or having one core topic and then repurposing to different social media platforms. So for example, I'll just use myself as an example. As a travel blogger, I have a blog, which is my primary content platform. And then I have my social media platforms. I have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then I have my email newsletter. Oh, not to forget YouTube as well. So I have to consistently create content for all of these platforms because not everyone is on every single platform, right? Like there are people who solely use Twitter and there are people who solely use Instagram, which is why the platforms exist to really drive traffic to my blog, which is the main goal, to get more traffic to my blog. Because with more traffic, in turn, I get more income from ads, from sponsored posts, things like that. If you missed my previous video about different ways to make money blogging or different ways to make money online, I'll put the link up and you can check it out. As mentioned, these different social media platforms, they all exist to supplement, to drive traffic to my main blog, which is why each time I publish a new post, I would make sure to publish it on Pinterest, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram as well. And all these take really so much time, and you might be wondering, how on earth do you get all of these done? So you might be wondering, why would I want to repurpose content? Why not just create new content for each platform? One, it saves time. Two, you don't get writer's block or creative block or whatsoever, like, oh no, TikTok, what am I gonna post next? Third, you have to realize that not everyone learns the same way as you. Some people prefer to consume audio via podcasting. Some people prefer to watch videos. For example, if you have a tutorial about how to make tom yum soup. Some people like to read blogs. So you have to realize that different people consume and learn differently, which is why it is important to be present on all kinds of platforms and on all kinds of multimedia. Fourth, it kind of positions you as an expert in the topics that you talk about. So say I am talking about blogging tips, for example, or I'm talking about travel, for example. I want to show people on all these different mediums that I am actually talking about all these and I'm sharing all these tips. So this really builds and establishes me as an expert in SEO and as an expert in travel. If you are blogging about South America travel, for example, you're sharing tips throughout all these different platforms, then people will associate South America travel with you. So each time somebody thinks, oh, I want to learn more about traveling in South America, they would immediately associate that with you. So this really builds your authority in the subject matter. And on that note, from an SEO point of view, Google will also recognize you as the expert authority in that subject matter when you are talking about these topics in different platforms. It doesn't translate directly to better SEO for your blog, but if Google recognizes you as the subject authority, then Google will more likely prioritize your posts when it comes to ranking for the topics that you write about. So for example, if someone was to search about tips for solo female travelers in South America, you as the South America travel expert will most likely rank at the top of Google search for such keywords. I cannot emphasize how much more powerful it is to have one subject across all these different platforms than to have 10 different pieces of content that you spread yourself thin. So your next question might be, how on earth do you repurpose content on all of these platforms? I've created a system where each time I publish a post, I'm able to broadcast it to all these different platforms. I have a few tools that I use to organize everything. So first, I would have my calendar open up, and then I have different categories that are different platforms that I want to publish to, like my blog posts, my YouTube, my Instagram, my email newsletters, and Twitter and Facebook, all these different social media platforms. So once I publish this post, I make sure that I don't forget to post it on all the different platforms at different dates. So with a calendar, it kind of gives you an overview of everything that you're posting on all these different dates. So it's great in helping me be consistent with content, because every Friday I will have a YouTube video that goes out. Every Wednesday I would have a blogging tip that goes out on my blog post. And every Monday, because I also have a Facebook group for content creators, it's called Skyrocket Blog Traffic. I'll put the link below. You're free to join. We have tons of tips and resources in there. So, like for example, every Monday I would have a post go out on my Facebook group. That way I am present on all social media platforms. And then when it comes to social media platforms, say like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn if you want, and Pinterest, each time a blog post goes out, I make sure to schedule a social post for that blog post on all these different platforms. And the tool that I use that I really have been obsessing over recently, it's called Missing Letter. I have done a separate video walkthrough of how I use Missing Letter in the dashboard and everything, so I'll place it up in the link above. Is it this side? Yeah, maybe it's this side. Yeah, I'll put it up here so you can check it out. It's really a game changer for me because I've tried different tools like Hootsuite, I've tried Buffer before. What else have I tried? Yeah, all these different social media schedulers. And to be honest, they haven't really saved me much time. But what I liked about Missing Letter, in a nutshell, it's an AI. So it pulls out quotes from my blog post so that I don't have to craft each and every social media copy from scratch. So it pulls out quotes from my blog post that I can just copy and paste into one social media post. And it also pulls out images for me, or you can search within the dashboard itself for copyright-free images that you can use online. They even populate hashtags for you to use. So it's really very easy, and it's like a one-click publish sort of thing. So once you hit publish, it really goes out to, depending on what platforms you choose, it can go out to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook groups. So yeah, depending on which platform you want to choose. Once you hit publish, all of these are scheduled, and you can schedule it up to 1 year in advance. So you can schedule between 1 week, 2 weeks, 6 months, or 1 year in advance, and it will space out all the different posts, and it's consistently showing up on social media. Say for a Twitter post, it will come out on the day itself, a day later, a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, and go, so on and so forth, up to a year. So everything is scheduled out for you, and you can just schedule this blog post once and forget about it for the rest of the year. So yeah, I highly recommend you to check out Missing Letter. I will put the link below in the description as well so that you can check it out. The other tool that I use is Trello, which I really like recently because not just organizing my content, but it also helps me to have an overview because I use it with my team to assign work. And so it's great because you can see the deadlines, who's being assigned, and different cards. So you can use it to brainstorm ideas, and you can even use it to organize your content in a way that it is published on different platforms. I will probably do another video for it because I'll probably have to walk through how I do it on Trello, but it's a really good way to organize all of my content topics and all of the platforms and what content I want published on what platforms. And you can even color code it, which makes everything really organized. And that's why I like to use Trello. And that's totally free as well. So that's it for today's video. I hope you get a better clarity of what repurposing content is like, why it's important, why you should do it. It's important to create content consistently as a blogger, and how to do it with your calendar, with Google Calendar, with Trello, with Missing Letter. There are so many tools out there that you can use to really organize your content and to make it easier, because I know how overwhelming it can be because you have to be on so many different platforms. And so I hope that this video really helps. Let me know in the comments below if it has helped you and what kind of tools you like to use, what other topics you'd like to hear from me in my next video, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye!